But again, that's early warning signs there for St Helens, Dave. Obviously, Castleford with their first bit of field position there, and they look really dangerous. Saints just didn't quite get the numbers right on the goal line on that short side defensively, and obviously Owens was just, Lucy Eastwood was just allowed to get on the outside too easily for me. So that makes to make sure they need to sort out their numbering up on goal line.
Here's Leah Burke for St Helens. She'll play this ball on the right-hand side. Ball being put into the middle. That's Lovejoy. All wrapped up by two. Some tenacious defence in the middle there from Castleford. Oh, and then it's spilled by Gaskin. Oh, what an error.
Yeah, disappointing there for St Helens.
She was thinking where she was going to play it, never mind, before she actually got to the play.
Yeah, she did. She did. Have a look at it on the Betfred replay. And obviously, just see here, just
took her eyes off the ball.
Lapse of concentration there from Gaskin. She just...
7 minutes of the game gone. Here's Tara Stanley drifting across to the left, taking on Avenall. Gets past her, past Harris. She's still going. Great feet.
Well, you mentioned her before the call, Dave, you know, how much of an influence she's going to have on this game. As Gentles now out of dummy half, Dave gets within 7 or 8 metres from the try line.
It's a super run. Here's Cudjoe. She'll also cut forward. She spotted something. She can't quite reach out.
Desperate defending there from St Helens. Rotherham underneath to make the tackle.
Dodd passes to her right-hand side. Here's Shona Hoyle. From one of the youngest players into the competition to one of the more experienced campaigners there. Cudjoe to play it to her right-hand side. Long ball from Rhiannon Marshall. Still being played out there. Another good hit coming in defence. Just about holding on Renoff. Now Marshall. Rhiannon Marshall cutting through. Look at the numbers on her.
Good scramble from Saints, but late offload. Play on, Dave.
Here's Roach.
Last tackle. And it's going to be a
Shona
try.
Hoyle. They're not taking that one away. That's Shona Hoyle this time going in. And that's Hoyle's 4th try of the season for Castleford. Some great movement there.
Yeah, look, it was last tackle run shape from Castleford, and I thought Saints were really scrambling well on their line, like they've put themselves under pressure through the unforced error from Gaskin previously. But let's have a look at the replay here. It's a great charge down there from Rhiannon Marshall, and she just gets the late offload there. There was 4 in attendance. And the ball just gets promoted over there to Hoyle, and she finishes there about 20 metres in from the left-hand touchline. But again, it just comes off here. Marshall, she's got 3, 4, 5 almost in attendance there. Great strength and presence of mind to get the offload. She knew it was last tackle, and it was a nice way to pass from Georgia Roach. Just a nice soft hands to find Hoyle, and she just goes over.
Well, Marshall is a nickname over at Castleford, Maverick. I think you could see why the... Great run.
That was good. And do you know what? Sometimes in these conditions like this, where it's windy and it's wet, and obviously on a 3G pitch, you just don't know how that ball's going to bounce. Sometimes the run option's not the worst option. You get tackled a metre from the line, you put the ball down, and then you've got to force the opposition to go 90, 95 metres on you. But they elected to go for the power play, but you got to put it down to Rhiannon Marshall. That was fantastic.
I know Stanley adds on those extras. It's 6 points to 0. 70th goal of the season, that for Tara Stanley in Castleford colours. Takes it to 221 points for the season as well.
Wow, that's impressive,
isn't it? Quick word being had there by Lindsay Anfield to her star fullback. And we'll get ready to go again. So from what you've seen in these early stages, first 10 minutes, Andrew, has it been what you've expected really from a Castleford point of view?
Well, you know, look, obviously I think Saints have probably not helped themselves a little bit with a couple of errors there. But, you know, the reality is I thought Cass opened the game well. They had a good set going forward. They kicked long. They chased hard. They really front-loaded energy defensively and forced Saints to kick from in their own half. They come up with a mistake themselves, but then Saints backed it up with a mistake themselves. So for me, Saints haven't really got their mojo or their flow going yet in this game. I'm not sure they've been allowed to either. You know, Cass have been pretty tenacious defensively, and like I said, have been making pretty good metres going forward.
There's Field making some more metres forward. Cudjoe's at dummy half, has options both left and right. Uses the one on the right. And again, the crashing forward beyond that 40-metre line. You can see there with the way everybody's covering themselves away from the rain. It's just that sort of afternoon here in St Helens. That pass looked a little suspect there for Shona Hoyle. I think there's been a call as well.
Right there, Dave. You're right. Good, well spotted there from you, mate.
They were opening it out, and I think just got a little bit too excited for me.
Well, that'll be the only thing that'll be disappointing Castleford at the moment is, you know, they've had, what, 4 sets with the ball now. They've come up with a couple of errors, and it's Marshall there. I like the idea of just trying to get an early tip on to put the big bopper on the outside, but yeah, she's just mistimed that pass.
Harris feeds the scrum. Tara Jones feeds it out the back. Gaskin gets it out to Cunningham. Dangerous from this sort of position. Rolls her way forward over that 40-metre line. Gaskin moves into dummy half now. 10 metres away from that touch line. Here is Paige Travis.
Good leg drive. Good leg drive though from Travis.
Did really well there. She'll play this ball to Jones, who plays it off there for Lovejoy. Another solid carry towards that 20-metre line they roll. Trying to find a bit of pressure, switching the ball to the left-hand side. Through hands. Oh, it was the right sort of play, but the wrong sort of execution, and Castleford have picked up. It's
just letting them down that bit of execution of skill, isn't it, for St Helens? And I could see what the idea that Gaskin was thinking, and I felt that it was either a timing issue there. Travis has either overrun the play, or Gaskin's pass has gone wayward and behind us. So they've just got to tidy up their little bit of timing, their execution of skill. Maybe just have a bit more of a simple set next time, and just make sure they get through the sets. I'm not sure we've only seen Saints get to the end of one set, I think, in this game.
12 minutes of the game gone, 6 points still in favour of Castleford. If you just join us, where have you been? But welcome all the same.
Oh, strong carry there.
Super run forward, that, isn't it, from Holly Mae Dodd. She'll play this ball to Cudjoe. Looks to her right-hand side. Kick to come in from Stanley. It's a measured effort. Bounces and bobbles. It'll hold up on this surface.
It's a great kick. Finds the grass.
Rotherham picks up. Scoots off down the left. Beats the first. Can't beat the second or the third, which closed in.
Good return there from Rotherham.
Gaskin looking to prompt. Passes in field. Here's Leah Burke. 15 tries in all competitions for Leah Burke this season. She's been up there amongst the strike players for St Helens. Here's Rudge, definitely one of the strike players. Gets the ball out.
And that's just not what they needed, Saints. They just need to be a bit more patient. I could see what Rudge is thinking. She gets her arm free and thinks, you know, this could be on. But the reality is, like I said, I think they've only completed one set, and even at that one set they completed, they gave away a 7-tackle set. So for me, I thought what they were doing there well. I thought Rotherham started the set well with a good kick return. Then the winger came in. She had a great carry, made about 10, 12 metres, nice and direct. And Rudge was making good metres down there. They just need a simple, direct set and get to a kick. It's just not the conditions, I don't think, for chancing your arm too much today.
Unfortunately, they just seem to be inviting Castleford onto them, don't they, with these errors at the minute?
Yeah, they're certainly giving Castleford every opportunity.
Into the 14th minute. Lofted pass from Cudjoe. Ball keeps moving. It's out to Shona Hoyle, who bounces off a couple. Feeds it on to an on-rushing Rihanna Marshall, who gets the ball away, but it's picked up by Rudge. He'll feed it down the left-hand side to Burke. We know she's got pace.
Oh, good feet.
Excellent work from her to escape.
Yeah, she's done well there to Burke. She's done well. And it's obviously both teams are guilty at the moment of just coughing up too much possession. It's just, like I said, Travis met by the Castleford committee there.
They're making a beeline for Travis every time she touches it, aren't they?
Well, she's got good leg drive after contact from what we've seen her before.
Forward comes St Helens, still inside their own 40-metre line, trailing by 6 points to 0 early on in this game. Hope you're enjoying it as much as we're enjoying bringing it to you. Here's Cunningham. Eva Vessam. She'll play it to Jones again, who has Gaskin awaiting the ball out on the left. Feeds it out to Travis. Tries to escape the clutches of Eastwood, but that's a good challenge from Eastwood. Gets low down and stopped up top there by Maisie Lum.
Yeah, Maisie Lum wrestled well over the top there.
Ball back. Oh, it's another error from St Helens.
Again, that's twice now. She's just put the ball down. Looks a little rattled, does Gaskin.
It's just concentration that's seemingly letting St Helens down, isn't it?
Again, it's, you know, again, another unforced error. You could argue the pass was a little high, but still, she's got to be better there. She's got to take that and just drop it onto the boot.
15 minutes gone. Castleford go on the charge again. Here's Grace Field. Inside the 30-metre line she goes. Over on the right-hand side of the field, 25 metres in from touch. She'll look to play this to Cudjoe. Some support to the right-hand side. Moving in
Good tackle there.
Ran off.
Oh, nice
Cut
tackle.
her in two, didn't it?
Yeah, great shot.
Rudge. Good solid run by Sammy Watts on from the bench. Cudjoe doing some communication there. Wanted to start a play down this left-hand side. Couple of dummies out to Roach. Roach onto Hoyle. Hoyle keeps it moving. Ball's been put down. Well, they're just as guilty as St Helens at the moment.
Yeah, they are. Look, that's the reality. I think Cass are not playing the conditions well. They're just trying to push too many passes and have ended up coming up with a couple of forward passes and a couple of errors. And that's the reality. I mean, I like the ball movement. I like the shape that they're playing with, but it's just obviously when you're digging into the line like that, right at the line in these wet conditions, it's very, very hard to take. You've just got to play that little bit earlier away from the line. They've just got both, they've just got to adapt their game. Saints as well, but they're just coming up for me with a couple of unforced errors which are not needed. They just both need to go a bit more of a direct approach, a little bit of change of angle in these conditions as well, and just get to a kick and finish their sets on their terms. And unfortunately, both teams just not executing well enough with the ball, but the difference is Saints are making a lot of their errors in yardage, which has given Castleford the field position. Cass are making a lot of their errors in good ball.
Yeah, they've really been over this 40 metre.
Good leg drive.
Now.
Good carry. Who was that, Dave?
That's a super run. That I think it's Lizzie Gladman who'll play that ball.
Was it Lovejoy?
Coming down the right-hand side. Oh, here's
Great
Jones.
Oh!
Just caught. She's still going though.
Fair play.
She jumped straight back up to have another go. 17 minutes gone.
And Sammy Watts making the cover tackle there. Last play.
Harris dabs it over the top. It's one into the corner. A little bit too much on it. Ball back. Oh, but we saw a real chance through that middle end, didn't we? It was a super run.
Yeah, great line break there, wasn't it, from Tara Jones? She saw there was space to exploit through that centre third, and she got out and makes initial line break. It's a shame she didn't have any support with her.
There's Gentles trying to
high
cut through
tackle.
that middle.
Yeah. High tackle there from the hooker. We just spoke her up there, Tara Jones. She just made a great line break for her team, but on that occasion there, just goes a bit too high on Kelsey Gentles. Just see it here on the Betfred replay here. This is Jones.
This is that big run, I think, coming in from Lizzie Gladman, actually. Look at that, powering away forward. First carry, it's just what you want a substitute to do, that, isn't it, when they get on the field.
Great work from Gladman, and she just skittled him a little bit, and it allowed Jones to get out. The markers weren't set. There was a late retreater going back to A defender, and Jones did ever so well to exploit that.
Trouble is, Marshall can come up with something similar for Castleford as well, so they've got to be aware all the time.
Absolutely.
Dodd crashes
She's
through
powerful, isn't she, Dodd?
She is.
She's got some power in her carry.
And Cudjoe takes it down the left, has some support.
Change of angle.
Here's Owen, cutting back, getting over the top of Pitt Birchall. Can't escape the clutches there of Cunningham.
Good tackle from Cunningham there.
Ball skimmed into the middle. Hoyle keeps it moving. Here's Roach, tries to round Rudge. Rudge gets a low down. Good defence from St Helens. Can it hold long enough? Castle think they've spotted something down the right hand side. It heads down that way. There's Burt cutting in to make that stop. Cudjoe wasn't expecting the ball then. Got it away to Stanley.
Feet.
Good kick forward as well.
Great
I'll tell
kick.
you what. Ooh, that had real chances, that one.
It's a great kick. And what's happened here? Is that a
Referee
penalty?
whistle is sounded.
Is he give a penalty for offside and people in front of the kicker? That's great evasion from Tara Stanley, isn't it?
It's very much ad-libbed play,
and
that, wasn't
it?
it?
Neat kick. I don't know if Marshall's been deemed to be inside the 10. Yeah, it's a penalty.
Yep.
Rhiannon Marshall was just in front of Tara Stanley. She executed the kick. I mean, it was great skill from Stanley, like to not only to beat a woman there and then obviously get the left foot peg. I mean, it set up nicely. They would have got themselves a repeat set there and built some pressure, but Rhiannon Marshall just was a little giddy and got ahead of the line.
It's like manna from heaven for St Helens, though, isn't it? They've been
Yes.
stuck at this end of the field.
Absolutely. They just need a simple set here, nice and forward and direct, and Gladman now taking it forward. She's been a handful since coming off the bench.
Well, a good run, that, from Lizzie. Play to Jones, out to Gaskin on the left. She'll feed it out to Rudge.
Good carry there.
Powerful run.
Yeah.
Still going.
Yeah, nice carry there from Emily Rudge there. Punched a really good line.
Now Jones feeds it on to Gaskin. She'll find some support. No look pass.
Don't need that.
It'll bounce, it'll
Don't
bobble.
need that.
Dodds there to it quickly for Castleford. Turnover possession for St Helens. Still, they've not been able to complete.
No, no.
And here's Gentles.
Gentles.
Brilliant run. Excellent. Still twisting and
Wow,
spinning.
she's creating some tempo. That's a penalty.
And she has won it.
Yeah, Emily Rudge there hanging on. Thought she was pretty clever there, Emily Rudge. She knew that her side was a little bit at 6s and 7s.
She's been doing this all season, though, as Gentles, hasn't she? She just drifts across defenders.
She's got great balance on her feet. You just watch how she moves. You know, she's got great balance. Good footwork at the line, but she injects tempo and pace into the line as well. And Rudge obviously just happy to give away the penalty to get her line set.
Castleford have brought Sinead Peach on, and look at that for the first carry. Look at that for the first play. Inside the 10-metre line she goes. Well, that'll certainly add direction to the Castleford play. Down the left with Roach. Dummies. Oh, great ball. Is that try?
No, I think it's held up. Held up. Great scramble from St Helens there on their goal line.
That was great play all round.
It was great rugby league football here. Let's have a look at here on the replay. Fantastic play. Stanley, wide pass. I love the width of pass there to Roach. Shows it.
Oh, there was something of the Rangy chase about that, wasn't there?
And hits was Owen there on the lead. Fantastic.
Still the danger hasn't gone away for St Helens. Castleford on the charge, bringing the ball down the right-hand side.
Ran off.
Oh, it's put down by Eastwood.
And neither team can just get that end of set, can they? They just a lot of errors from both teams today. We're not used to seeing this many.
I suppose you're encouraged from a St Helens point of view, aren't you? Because they've been put under so much pressure. They're just about holding out there.
Well, that's the key, isn't it? I mean, both teams. I think both teams and both coaches will know that they're not at their best at the moment. You know, they've got to fix up this ball control. But the reality is Saints are making their errors in their half, and Cass are making the errors attacking Saints' line. I mean, Castleford, for me, I'd be getting a little bit concerned that we're not turning this pressure into points. You know, because I'm telling you, at some point Saints will get their say in this game, and you just don't want to. You don't want that momentum to shift against you. You know, I mean, they've got a real opportunity there to, turn the pressure into points, and they're just not doing that, Castleford. But Saints have to tidy themselves up as well, and just need to go direct, carry forward, carry strong, get to a kick, Dave. That's what they need.
Gladman will do that all day. She'll stand and play this to Jones. Jones spins it left. There's Gaskin, tucking the ball under her wing. I thought she wanted to promote the ball then, but then she thought better of it.
Yeah, she made the right decision in the end, because it would have been a pressure pass probably if she'd made that pass.
They can go again. This time with Rudge, who feeds it out to Travis. Travis standing strong in the tackle. Nobody came to her.
Looking for the offload there, Travis, wasn't she?
Approaching the halfway line. Kick to come in from Gaskin. That's probably what she was aiming at before. Oh, and it's spilled by Stanley.
Offside there was Georgia Roach.
Wow.
Yep, she was in front of Stanley when she drops it. That's a penalty to Saints. Now this could be the time the tide turns.
Look at this hang time she gets on this kick though.
Nice hang time. I'd like to see the kick go a little bit longer, but anyhow, Stanley, she didn't need to jump for that ball for me. She didn't have any pressure on her. She should have attacked the football as she did, but just allowed it to come to her. She jumps, maybe jumped a little bit too early, and it just missed. Made her miss time the catch. But this is a great opportunity now for St Helens to actually start to put some pressure on that Cass line. It's their best attacking opportunity of the game, isn't it?
Yeah, they've only been down here once, haven't they?
Absolutely. So
approaching the 20-metre line, here's Cunningham. Cunningham's got some support. Takes it forward herself. It's a great run. Into the 20 she goes. She'll play it to Jones, who scoops it, sends it left. There's Gladman. Nice dummy there.
Good leg drive from Gladman again. She's been impressive off the bench.
Gets within
the team forward.
Gets within 5 of the line. Here's Jones, picks it up, sends it left. Gaskin through hands out to Travis. Travis, can she get that ball down?
She scored it. Try time.
What a score that is from Paige Travis.
Fantastic strength from Travis. And St Helens strike, Dave.
Well, we talked about it, didn't we? Only a third try of the season, but wow. Such strength shown there.
Absolutely. Great play here down the short side on the left here. So great carry from Gladman, but then it's Jones wide past to Gaskin. And it's just a simple early ball to Travis, and she just does her best. She spins out of the tackle of Eastwood and plants that ball down. Great strength, great hit and spin and away from Travis. And we spoke about it before, Dave. I said that, Castleford, albeit both teams have been guilty of making errors, but Castleford will be the team that'll be ruining their opportunities because they've had the field position, they've had the possession, and they've had the pressure, but they've just kept letting Saints off with it by just drop balls. And I said Saints will get their say at some point. That tide turned there. They got the penalty. They got themselves down in their first good ball attacking position, and they've posted points. And now you'll see the momentum potentially shift now in Saints' favour, and Castleford will be starting to be ruining those missed opportunities, I'd say, Dave.
Just shows how quickly the game can change, doesn't it?
Absolutely, but that's why you've just got to be clinical and you've got to execute well when you've got good ball attacking position.
So Gaskin goes for goal. It's a good attempt, just waved away though. St Helens 4, Castleford 6, 25 minutes gone. And maybe this game will settle down now, because both sides have been perhaps a little
edgy,
bit too guilty.
a little bit edgy, haven't they? You know, I just don't think they've played the conditions well. I think that's what it is. I think both teams like to play rugby league football. We know that they score points, they like to play, and I love that about both teams. But the reality is, when it's like this, it's windy, it's the heavens have opened, it's wet, you just can't. You have to adapt your style of play and your game. And your game plan has to change accordingly. So.
I'm loving the little stand at the back, by the way.
Yeah,
that is a start. I want one of those. We could have done with one of those last week at Oldham.
We could have done one of those, Dave. Absolutely spot on. It's a great little investment. Let's get the RF. Oh, shot! Oh, wowzers! Hoyle! What a shot Hoyle there put on.
Knocked her into next week.
Avenel. Oh, sit down.
Knocked her into the middle of next week. Forward comes St Helens, though. They're not hanging around. Then that's Taylor with the charge.
Oh, penalty there.
Penalty.
Was it a shoulder charge? Yep. Marshall, was it? Well, let's have a look at this shot off the kickoff. Now, this is a response after conceding a try. And Hoyle just gets in there. Boom! Wow.
Swing your arm, Andrew.
Just great shot. Great shot.
Tap taken. There's Lizzie Gladman. Again, I agree with you. She's been excellent.
She's been great. Put it this way, since she's come off the bench, she's been a real handful. She's making good metres. She's playing nice and direct, playing to her strengths.
And it's Cunningham, nice and direct through the middle again.
Good tackle over the top there. Is it Marshall over the top?
And Hoyle as well involved in that one. Saints moving the ball left. Here's Rudge spinning out with 2, spinning out with 3, powering forward in that challenge.
You can see why she's an England player. She's adding some strike on that left edge.
25 metres away from the post.
Knock on from Raj. Oh, it's getting... Oh.
Got a bit tetchy there, didn't it?
Oh, I thought it was going to get tasty there. Raj's not happy. I mean, she made a great run down that left edge. But the reality is she didn't get up and play the ball properly. And I did speak about that before the game, didn't I? About in these sort of conditions, sometimes you might just have to take that extra second to get up and play the ball. You might just have to play a little bit earlier away from the line, those sort of things. And Raj was just trying to get a quick play the ball. I could see what she was trying to do. She ran made a great line run there on that left edge. Was trying to generate some ruck speed for a team, but in the act of doing so, loses possession.
You're reining in your natural instincts a lot, aren't you, in these type of conditions, as Stanley rolls forward. 29 minutes gone. 6 points to 4 in favour of Castleford. It's Shona Hoyle. She's really put some work in this first 28 minutes, hasn't she?
It's good defence out there from Cunningham. And
Dawn Taylor as well.
Yeah, Dawn Taylor over the top.
Some great defence once more by St Helens.
Good defence. Emily Rudge there involved in the tackle.
Once again, they've not quite got the shape right, have they, down that side? Oh, what a hit that was.
Tackle there from Rudge. But again, it was a timing forward pass, wasn't it? It's just the timing. They've had 3 forward passes now, Castleford. So just a little bit of that timing, just not quite on the money at the moment for them.
Very murky conditions down here at Ruskin Sports Park, the home of Pilkington Rex, and it'd be remiss of us whilst we're here not to mention the season that Pilkington Rex have had. They've got promoted out of Division 1 of the National Conference, so they'll be playing in the Premier Division next season, taking on the might and likes of Hunslet Club Parkside and Wathbrow Hornets and Thatto Heath. Now that's going to be an interesting old encounter between those two in St Helens next year.
Yeah, it will be indeed.
But this is, of course, the Betfred Women's Super League. It's St Helens 4, Castleford 6, half an hour gone. And a few people being patched up, it would be fair to say. I am loving that little tent that's on that terrace.
Yeah,
opposite
it's a
us.
great little invention, isn't it? Perfect, isn't it, for watching these sort of games on the hill.
Might have to invest in one of those next season at Lee East.
Not a bad shout, Dave. Not a bad shout. And the scrum's going to form now, pack down. St Helens in a good attacking position again. They're 40 off from the Cass line. Ball goes out the back to Cunningham now. He's trying to run around them. Good tackle there underneath by Gentles.
Still managed to roll forward a little bit.
She did well to get out of it.
And now Jones sets herself at dummy half. Looks around for support. It arrives. I think that's Pip Birchall with the run. She'll play it in the middle of the field. Ball out to Gladman. Little dummy. Big surge forward again. Great leg drive.
Great work again from Gladman.
Takes 3 to put her down. Ball goes loose. Is it a knock on?
I think it is, yes, it is.
She had a leg lifted awkwardly.
Well, I thought
it
was almost in a position to be a tip tackle, but I think she just got away with it. She's disappointing there is Gladman, because she has been impressive since coming off the bench. Been a real handful, added some real go forward for Saints, but she seems to have a nice little bit of ball handling about her too. They're showing and going, and potentially got a tip on playing her as well.
Here come Castleford, trying to break from deep. 32nd minute. Roach, after a quick play of the ball, doesn't really get it, but it's given a bit of go forward there for Lacey Owen to try and capitalise. She gets over her own 40-metre line. There's a further example of the murky conditions as Gentles picks up. She'll look to make light of those as she drifts off down the right, takes the challenge of Rudge. She'll play to Peach, who feeds it to her left-hand side, and ball spilled by Sammy Watts.
Picked up by Jones. Oh, Gentles with a shot on Jones. Oh, jeez. No advantage here. The ref will call her back for a scrum head and feed, but Sammy Watts.
It was huge effort there, wasn't there?
Yeah, Sammy Watts with just, again, so a couple of these players today on both teams guilty of these unforced errors, and she just had a look at the defensive line, the white wall in front of her. This lapse of concentration, and look at Gentles' reaction. Great reaction from Gentles, and she just gets underneath Jones, and wowzers. Just reminded me of that shot that Wagger put on me in the Yorkshire-Lancashire game the other week.
Has he stopped reminding you of it? Do you keep getting text messages off him about it?
Jesus, no, kidding himself. You know, I mean, what people don't realise is, you know, that was the 78th minute of the game, and you know, I mean, I was extremely tired after we just won the Challenge Cup that weekend, so we had a couple of days out, you should say, and Wagger's only playing 10 minutes, coming off every 10, on every 10, so you know. Fair enough, if he's done the full 80, then you give him more credit for it. But no, fair play. He got me with a good shot. Can't complain.
Sadly for St Helens, they couldn't take advantage on that next set. Ball spilled, but they are starting to get further down the field. And I know they're still making errors, Andrew, but they're making errors inside the Castleford half as opposed to inside their own now. Yeah.
If that's a positive, I suppose.
Am I scratching around for positive?
I think you are there, Dave. I think you are. Look, the reality is both teams need to sort out their ball control, because they're both keeping each other in the game for me, and I think the team that can manage that better is going to go on and win this game. You know, but both teams just keep relieving the pressure valve, don't they? Neither team's putting enough pressure on each other. You know, you look at Cass look the more lively in terms of when they're carrying, and they look like they seem to have a little bit more energy about them. That's a great kick there from Georgia Roach in behind the line. Good chase from Gentles. She almost pinched it, didn't she, out of the air?
And Gentles turns and puts the tackle on. Harris at dummy half, passes infield for Rotherham. Rotherham starts the counter-attack, but only as far as Roach. It's great defence from Roach, by the way. Showing a lot of hallmarks in this game of why she's reigning Woman of Steel, both defensively and in attack as well. St Helens, meanwhile, 25 metres away from their own line. Jones picks up out of dummy half, finds the running there at Pitt Birchall. Been a solid performer for Saints this year as Birchall. Stopped on that 30-metre line, 34 minutes gone, still 6 points to 4. Gaskin has it, puts the step on Watts, turns the ball to her right-hand side. They'll carry on going forward. Solid set this for St Helens. Can they get to the end of it?
Great kick pressure there from Castleford.
Jones gets a kick away. Taken on the full by Gentles. She'll start the counter-attack. I love the way she can almost put the brakes on full stop and then go again in a different direction.
Absolutely, she moves well. That's why she's in the running for she moves well. I can see that she's probably made quite a number of line breaks this year and finished off some good tries, because she's got the ability to accelerate, decelerate and accelerate again.
She could almost have an Our League highlights package of her own this season, I think.
Could be right there. Oh, good tackle there. Rudge and Cunningham on Eastwood.
Nowhere to go there. Played out to dummy half.
Just noticed now the last couple of sets from Castleford, they've just reined it in a little bit, haven't they? They've gone a little bit more dummy half running, you know, maybe just dropping a ball off, carrying off the ruck, and then I think the last set we saw Roach kick early, finishing in a corner. So I think maybe the message has got out that we just need to tighten things up here.
Marshall out to Shona Hoyle. That was a great pass. Now Owen onto Gentles. Oh, big shot.
Nice shot there, yep.
High tackle there from Katie May Williams. Just stuck the arm out.
Disappointing there for Saints. I think there would have been last tackle after that was tackle 4. So it means that Saints will have to defend again. They moved the point of attack from right to left. It was Marshall to Hoyle. Hoyle with the long pass out to Owen. Owen fed it on there to Casey Jennings, who steps back in off the left, and you just see, oh, and that's it, the swinging out left arm there.
Clumsy.
From the St Helens centre.
Tap taken. Forward comes Dodd. Inside the 10-metre line she goes. Peach communicating with the rest of her teammates. Heads off right.
Oh,
gets the ball
nice
back.
Play.
Lovely play. A loop pass out. It's opening up here for Castleford. Have they gone in?
Great
No.
tackle. Great tackle.
Somehow they've managed to keep the ball out.
I think they'll score on this short side here.
It's Stanley.
She's over.
Well, she stepped one way, then went the other, then scored on the outside.
Fantastic try there, Tara Stanley. And like you said, the field position and the possession. And I think probably that's been earned off the back of the last 2 sets that Castleford had with the ball. Yeah, they've been nice, a little bit more direct. They kicked early, and then the last set there, they got to the end and said, obviously they've got a penalty, which got them another repeat set. But they've just been a little bit more conservative in their play. They just took the meters on offer, and I think that's what earned them that field position and opportunity. And it was a great try down that short side. I thought it was a great scramble on the goal line from Saints. We'll see it here now on the Betfred replay. Just a short side attacking move there. The Saints just couldn't get their defensive numbers around the corner. The play before was coming from the far left side. You know, Peaches got out of dummy half, neat little runaround play on goal line, which brought them over to this right side, and then it just moved those Saints defenders, and they just couldn't get around the corner to number up on the short side. So Cass, flooded that short side with attacking numbers. It effectively was like a 4v2 down that short side, and Stanley, she just had great footwork off the right, off the left, and finishes in the corner. But it was the play before for me, Dave, that set that up.
Well, it was that good, that attack. It caught us all out, didn't it?
It's a similar play that the first team used. You know, the 9 hits the 40, turns it up back to the 9, and they get you on the edge there.
So Tara Stanley sends it goalward, but it's waved away. Castleford 10, St Helens 4 here at the Ruskin Sports Park.
Well, I think Cass have got a real opportunity to, if they can get another try here before half time, I think that's going to make it difficult for Saints. Saints have got to really focus on defending well this set, kick long, defend well, try not to let Cass get any sort of roll on momentum off this set, because I think if Cass get down there again, they may post points again. So Saints are still in the game, but they're going to have to work extremely hard defensively this set.
Minute and a half or thereabouts before the break. We are in the hands of our referee for timekeeping though. It's possibly a bit longer to play than what is being shown on your screen. Ball sent up high in the air, taken by Castleford, carried forward up towards that 30-metre line. Peach barking out the instructions. Options to her left-hand side. Run comes in. I think that's Hygo underneath that one, Kirsty Hygo. Played several games off the bench this season for the Tigers. And Shona Hoyle. She's had a really good half as Hoyle.
Well, like I said, she's got a good skill set, hasn't she? But she's got a run threat as well, hasn't she? She's not afraid to carry the ball and take the line on.
And there's Marshall. You know, if you switch off on one of these players, they'll be through the gap.
She's got some decent ball skills as well. They're a skillful team.
Roach kicking forward. It comes off the shins
there
of Rebecca Rotherham.
Criminal mistake. Not what they needed, St Helens, before half-time. And spoke about it. They needed to have a good D set and just contain Castleford. And again, it was nothing much in it. Last tackle play, Roach down this left side, just puts it in behind the line. And Rotherham's got plenty of time. Just needs to trap it with the feet. She tries to do that. It comes off the shins. And just that fumble there.
If the ground could have opened up then.
Here
come Castleford.
Well, they're going to have to defend this now. I've got a sense that Castleford may post more points here.
Lacey Owen plays it. Peach passes to the right-hand side. This is now Frankie Townend, a mid-season signing from Leeds. Scored 8 tries, all wrapped up. And in fact, that is all that we've got time for in this half. So, St Helens did manage to keep Castleford out, but it's Castleford who lead by 10 points to 4.
Yeah, well, I think it's pretty fair to say, on reflection of that first half, neither team has been able to build pressure enough on each other. I think both teams have done their best in keeping each other in the game. There's been a lot of errors. I think both coaches need to sit down with their players at half time and speak about maybe adapting their style of play. I felt Cass started to get that right at the back end of that first half, playing a more direct game, keeping it a little bit more simple, a bit more dummy half running, and just happy to sort of kick in it, sometimes kick early and just turn the opposition around and finish in those corners. And I think that's kind of be the mentality second half. The conditions just aren't going to allow you to play that expansive game. Both these teams like to throw the ball around. We know that. They're used to scoring points, playing fast, up tempo, but the conditions probably aren't going to allow them to do that. So I think it's just a question of just adapting that a little bit. Saints have got to tidy up, obviously, their errors, and obviously, but the confidence they can gain is that the one time they were in good ball territory, they posted points. So that's got to be the message from Derek Harmon, is that, listen, if we can just fix up what we're doing, tidy up our yardage completion, make sure we're a little bit smarter coming out of backfield, get into those kicks, we're going to get some field position. And once we do, we've shown that we can score points.
Well, let's have a look at these highlights. So this is where I think, or I thought they'd open the scoreline early doors.
Yeah, well, this was the last tackle run option here from Castleford. It was great play here from Marshall, and she just uses great strength. There's like 4 or 5 Saints players in attendance there. She gets the late offload out there, and then Roach obviously feeds it on to Hoyle, and she's on the outside of her opposite number, Zoe Harris, and crashes over. So again, like I said, they elected to go for the power play. Last tackle, it was just a carry there from Marshall. She goes, tracks 4 or 5 defenders, and she has to be desperate and get that ball out because she wanted to keep the play alive. She does that. Roach collects, feeds it on to Hoyle, and she goes in untouched there to open the scoring.
Probably no less than Hoyle deserved for her part in that first half.
Absolutely.
Then we saw this response coming from St Helens. Great run forward in the first instance by Lizzie Gladman.
Yeah, who's been impressive for Saints since coming off the bench. It was just a short side attacking play here. Great pass from Jones. It just gets Gaskin on the outside of her defender, ran off, and then obviously Travis just gets on the outside of Eastwood and shows great strength to hit and spin. I mean, I think Castleford still had the numbers there to stop her, but she showed great strength to hit and spin and score in the corner. But then just before half-time, we see this. Peach had a dummy half. The men's first team used that play as well. The 9 hits a middle. They turn it up. Great ball movement from Castleford there. And you thought they were going to score there when Roach, I think, found Townend, but she gets up and played it. And unfortunately for the Saints players, they just couldn't get around the corner. They couldn't fill up defensively on the short side. Cass had a lot more numbers there. And Tara Stanley, great evasion and footwork. She steps off the right, then off the left, and finishes in the corner. Yeah,
when you've got feet like that, you don't need to worry about anything else, do you?
No,
brilliant play. So Castleford lead in this one by 10 points to 4 at half time. Now, very recently, we were over at Blackpool for the grand day out. And here is the best of what happened.
G'day, I'm Adam Hills, and this is the Rugby League's grand day out at Blackpool. It is the showcase of Rugby League.
got to say I've been involved in a number of things in rugby league, but the Grand Day Out is probably up there on my CV. It was a superb occasion for all, and a great example of a number of good things that we do in this sport that perhaps we're not always the best at talking about.
No, and it's good though, like you said, that these sort of events and ideas are getting some exposure. That's the other key thing, Dave, as well. So it's great to see that you've made the effort to get out there, cover it, and for the Our League app. And like you said, great exposure for some of these. Well, it's all connected to our sport, isn't it?
Definitely,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
But obviously, just slight variations. Like you said, we've got the PDRL, we've got the learning disability one as well. We've got the wheelchair, we've got the tag rugby. We've got all these sort of slight variations now of the game, and it's fantastic that it's getting the coverage and support that it deserves.
So 10 points to 4 here at half time, and we've seen some great action throughout the Women's Super League. We're building towards the grand final, of course, aren't we, which takes place at St Helens, not so far from here actually, in a couple of Fridays time.
Absolutely.
Who's going to be there? Who's going to be there? So we've got 2 of the top 4 in action this afternoon. We've got the other 2 actually in action this afternoon as well over at Leeds against Wigan. Yeah. So we know that it's going to be 2 of those 4 which are going to make the grand final.
I think it's going to be Castleford v Leeds. I think it's going to be a Cas Leeds grand final in 2 weeks' time.
And possible revenge.
For Cas, yeah.
It's all good. Now we're going to bring you some more VT. You realise that we've been bringing you all the action of the playoffs over the course of the last couple of weekends. Here's a bit more about what it's about.
This is fun, this is exciting, here we go.
Oh,
that's a big one.
Boom! Sit down, that's a great shot there. Through, look at the toes, blistering toes.
He's done a lot of that. I'm not sure if that's him being greedy or just poor options left and right.
Deep down he's going to be thinking, bring it on, bring it on.
His legs were a bit too wide apart. Just looked ungainly.
It looks nervous. It's a coach killer.
It is. You took the words out of my mouth. Well, that's unforgivable, really.
There's definitely a little bit of spice between those two. It could get tasty later, George. Who knows?
It's lively, isn't it? Might boil over this, you know.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, if he's running at you try and get out of the way. Oh, he's dropped the ball.
Yes.
No! Why did he do that?
Oh, well, if you replay that last 30 seconds, put some Benny Hill music on it.
Yeah.
So half time here at Ruskin Drive, St Helens 4, Castleford 10, and that was just an example of why you're watching rugby league at this time of year, why we all love rugby league at this time of year. It's all about playoffs, and maybe we can talk a bit more generally, because you've seen some of these playoffs yourself, haven't you, for when you've been doing your work in other places. What do you make of what you've seen both from Super League and Championship?
I think it's been great. I think the concept of the top 5 works. I think it's exciting. I like the idea of it. And I think so far we've seen some great contests, haven't we, throughout the Super League, Championship, and League One. Some really close encounters. I think it's really been a strong competition this time round. And fantastic St Helens last night. They were brilliant. Sorry, on Friday night they were fantastic against Wigan.
They were awesome.
They were awesome. They were to earn the right to go to Old Trafford. So they've got one foot in there. They've got one hand on the trophy. But Salford have been brilliant as well in their playoff campaign to bounce back after the disappointment against Wigan and respond the way they have. Then you look in the Championship, and Featherstone have been the surprise packet, coming from 5th. Have won back-to-back games away from home. Now we'll face Toulouse later on this evening.
That's such an exciting match.
But Toronto have been impressive as well, haven't they? And they're like similar to Saints. They were fantastic last week and have earned the right now to go to the grand final. And then you look at League One and Oldham, who've been impressive form. They're in the grand final, but I think. The journey that Newcastle Thunder have been on this season, first time that they've been in the playoffs probably since 2008 when they earned promotion to the Championship. So it's exciting to see their journey. Doncaster, for me, again, another team that have just sort of gone under the radar and just improved at the back end, really peaked at the back end of this season. So I just think there's so many great stories and been some great matchups and games in all respective competitions. It's great to see and great for the game. And I just hope that all our rugby league fans and those who are new to the game are really enjoying the playoff campaigns in all divisions. It's brilliant.
A little bit earlier, as Andrew mentioned, Newcastle booked their place courtesy of a 34-4 success. Quite comprehensive, that really, in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it was, and I called it. I said a few weeks ago, I was asked it's funny, I said, how's the run of the competition going to go? And I've picked it to a T. I said that Workington would beat Hunslet at Hunslet. I said Doncaster would beat Newcastle away. I said Newcastle lose their first game. I said then Workington will lose to Newcastle, and I said Doncaster will lose to Oldham. Oldham will go to the grand final, and I said Newcastle will beat Doncaster in the game to go to the grand final, but Oldham will beat Newcastle.
Should our league viewers go and get 6 numbers? And
Well, hey,
60 minutes.
Hey, listen, I'm not definitely saying that, but I'm just saying that's how I called it, and I think Oldham will do the job next week and book themselves back into the championship, and I think next season will be the year for Newcastle Thunder. I think that will be the year for them. They'll gain promotion next year. I just think they're going from strength to strength as a club on and off the field.
There's a lot of good stuff that they're doing, isn't there? When you look at the local stories as well, things like the Cramlington Rockets and all the stuff that's going on there.
Well, I enjoyed a season. I played up there for a year in 2009 when they went to the championship, and we had a bit of a hybrid sort of setup there. There was about 15 of us full time, the rest were part time, and the thing that attracted me there was it was a 6-year plan to get to Super League, and they just started up their scholarship and academy programs. It was in its real infancy. They were just building those links with the community, so it was in the early infancy of all that sort of stuff going on. So albeit the first team had gained promotion, but they just were starting to get all that stuff off the ground. And unfortunately, though, the club went into administration that year I was there, so I never got to see that project through. But I'm just really pleased that now, since it's gone under this new ownership, so 2 or 3 years after I left the club, they really struggled. They were at the basement of League One until the ownership from the Falcons got involved, moved them to Newcastle out of Gateshead, and they've managed now to rebuild, really strengthen that youth setup, and they're in a good place with a lot of good things going on.
Talking about a good place, it seems to have brightened up here, and we're off for the second half.
Absolutely.
And away come St Helens from that far end, taking the first drive. Jones moves up into dummy half. She's got Harris for company off down the left, but instead turns it the other side to Rebecca Rotherham, who gets beyond the 20, plays it to Jones. Another wide ball brought through the middle by Dawn Taylor. It's a good drive, 35 metres from her own line. Jones will pick up again, looks to turn it right, but then decides to take it on herself, and that's
Great
why
carry from Tara Jones.
Really did split the defence up. Went over the halfway line, and it's Cunningham. She'll push the ball left. Gaskin through hands, short ball.
Good carry there.
Darcy Stott it was.
And Rogers come off, I think.
Played to Jones. Kick comes in from Gaskin. Really drifts in the breeze. Oh, and then it's spilled once again by Tara Stanley. She doesn't deaden the play either.
Wow, that's the second time she's come up with that mistake. So clearly she's carrying some divots at the moment. She obviously made that howler in the first half, and she obviously hasn't got over it.
It was the second time as well that she didn't actually kill the player, though, which is even more dangerous, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. Her reaction to it as well. She dropped it and kind of just gave up on the play. You're right, Dave. It's funny how confidence in this game it's a key thing, and the reality is, as a professional player, you've got to learn that you're going to make mistakes. You don't mean to. It's going to happen, but you've got to have the ability to, if you do make one, what's next? Get on with your job, focus on what's next. And it looks to me that Tara may still be having some nightmares from when she dropped that ball in the first half, because her response and reaction to that one wasn't great.
Saints go close to the try line. Jones at dummy half, passes to the left. There's Taylor, big collision.
Yeah.
Wow, really lined up in that one there. Grace Field, it was low down.
Field, yeah.
They'll play it out down this left-hand side. Cunningham onto Gaskin. Gaskin using the ball. Rotherham thought she was going to pop the ball out then.
She was looking for the offload, was Rotherham there. She thought better of it.
Jones again, head on a swivel, puts it left. Gaskin through hands.
Oh,
Burke has just put it down.
It wasn't the best pass from Gaskin. I like the idea. I think she saw that Burke was on the outside here.
Well, it's a bit of a pet play, this, for St Helens. It's come up for them on several occasions when they've gone down the short side.
See Gaskin there. She gets to on the outside of the A defender, so she's effectively creating a 3v2. So I saw that. I could see what the idea was right of trying to put
stepping run coming in. Here's Roach, spun right round like a rag doll and put down 15 metres from her own line. Picked her out of dummy half now by Townend. She'll look for some space. Head reel back there in that challenge. Really did pile in then. Another solid hit. I think it was Naomi Williams who came up with that tackle. St Helens guilty of giving away the penalty though. Dawn Taylor a little bit too long in the tackle there, holding down. 3 minutes of the second half gone. 10 points to 4 as we were at half time in favour of Castleford. Claire Garner dumps the ball into touch. She's been a real pivotal signing for Castleford this season as Garner. She's due to be playing down at Keighley. Tap taken. Forward come the Castleford Tigers once again. Strong defence. Inside the St Helens half. Kudjow's back on. Short ball to her left hand side. Field crashes through. Really attack Naomi Williams there. Kudjow passing left. Long ball once again. Here's Roach. Roach through hands. Taking on the defence herself. Great footwork. Beats two. Feeds it back inside to Marshall. Marshall powering her way through. She's still going Marshall.
Great support from Marshall there.
5 metres out. 5 metres out from the line. Kudjow picks up. Ball turns to the right hand side. Garner onto Stanley. Stanley steps one. Steps back in the infield. Still going.
Good scramble though from St Helens. It had to be on try line there, Dave.
Don't know how they managed it. 4 minutes gone. Castleford asking all the questions. Garner threading the kick through. Really difficult one. Harris just about shuffles it dead.
Great kick there from Garner. Threads the needle through the line. Well weighted kick. And I think it was Zoe Harris had to knock the ball back. This is the initial line break here. Georgia Rose just evading a few would-be tacklers, stepping off the left. Great support back down that middle third from Marshall. We know she's got an offload. I think she was looking to try and promote the ball, but she just sticks hold, and they shifted the point of attack to this far right, and I thought Tara Stanley was going to be in. But it was great scramble, won it on the goal line from Saints. But Castleford now will enjoy another set of possession on the Saints line.
Good pick up by Stanley. Charges back to the 20-metre line. Kudjow's in at dummy half. Eastwood to her right, but opens out to Garner, who feeds it into the middle with Field. Field 15 metres out from the line, right in front of the post. It's starting to look like it's building here for the Tigers as Kudjow shuffles it right. Run comes in from Renoff. All held 12 metres out from that try line. Saints defending willfully. Ball span into the middle.
Knock on.
Comes off the hands there of Rhiannon Marshall. A little bit keen and eager, I think.
Yeah, she'll be disappointed. And again, it's the same sort of message I was saying in the first half. You know, is a Castleford going to rue these missed opportunities? Because, you know, time and time again in the first half, they were in these good ball field positions and they just kept coming up with mistake after mistake, and they just weren't clinical enough in their execution, you know, to turn that pressure into points. And Saints survive again, and just you sort of get the feel that the longer Saints stay in this game, that there may be a chance of nicking this one.
Well, it'll help with runs like that coming in as well by Pitt
penalty. That's disappointing from Marshall. She's made the initial mistake and she's backed it up with a penalty.
Compound errors, really.
Yeah, coach won't be happy with that.
So Gaskin will look up to the touchline. 26 years old now, Faye Gaskin. Played at several clubs, and that's a great touch finder.
What a touch finder. That's a great kick.
It's about 60 metres that's gone.
Wow. Well, this is a great opportunity for St Helens. And I said they'll get their say at some point in this game. They've only had really one opportunity in good ball attack and field position in the first half. They scored. What will they do with this?
Well, let's see where we go over the next 60 seconds. Well, Harris plays it in field. Run comes in. Roach comes up with the stop alongside Shona Hoyle. Tara Jones asking for a quicker play of the ball. Comes into the middle with Birchall. Spins within that challenge, still going forward. Stopped on that 20. Jones. There's Gladman for company. Gladman rolls forward, slips the ball. Oh, I thought she slipped it.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's been impressive, hasn't she, Gladman?
Here's Jones trying to pick them apart from dummy half. Rolled over on her back.
Grace Field, I think, making the cover tackle there.
Quick play of the ball, which with Rotherham. Overwhelmed by Eastwood. Jones spins it into the middle. Kick comes in from Gaskin. An angled one for the posts. There's plenty of players there. It's picked up by Castleford. They've got work to do. Look at that.
Great
Brilliant
effort. Dodd, I think it was there that collected and got out of there. Fantastic effort from Dodd.
And now here's Action Stations. Gentles has it. Oh, ball comes loose from that challenge.
That's a ball steal, surely.
The referee's whistle sounds.
Yeah. That's a ball steal, yeah. It was the right call. We'll have a look here on the replay here. But you've got to give credit to Casey General's getting out there, dummy half running. She loves to run from dummy half. It's a good tackle, good initial contact there. Great initial contact from Lizzie Gladman, but not Gladman, it wasn't Gladman, was it?
She doesn't shirk any work though, does she, Gentles? Always carries it in.
I think it was Pip Birchall, wasn't it, that was in the tackle? Birchall, she comes up the ball still.
That's a big collision with Naomi Williams. Didn't like it as well, did ran off. Forward comes Rhiannon Marshall through that middle. 8.5 minutes of the second half gone. Still as we were at half time, 10 points to 4. This is the top two of the Betfred Women's Super League up against each other. Right across our league, right across Twitch, and right across the Betfred Facebook channel as well. Kick comes in from Garner to keep Castleford rolling forward. It's a good touch finder.
Yeah, it's a good set from Castleford that there, Dave. Much needed. I think just
settled it down, really.
Settle it down, mate. Get to an end of set. Good kick into the corner. Saints will now have to go 90 metres. They just make sure they fix up their discipline on this set. Just have another good defensive set. Force Saints to kick long, and then they'll just get themselves back in that arm wrestle, back into that grind mentality.
We've also seen something that I never thought we'd see again today. Sunlight.
I know.
Can't believe it's come out now. As Harris spins it to her right-hand side. Good tackle there on Katie May Williams. Quick play the ball.
I think she played that properly, didn't she?
Yeah, she didn't seem to get up and play it, but play on. Jones scurried forward for an extra 5 metres. Here's Cunningham looking to do likewise. Promotes it. Onto Gladman, who spins, twists, turns, goes again. Wrapped up by 3, drags a 4th in.
She's got through some work today, Gladman, isn't she?
Certainly is. Now Jones. Oh, ball put
hard.
down.
Pass was too hard there from Jones.
Really was bulleted towards her, wasn't it? So Castleford back in possession, 40 metres away from the St Helens line. Eastwood opens it out to Peach, who then finds Stanley. She's got a lot of positives about her game, hasn't she? The way that she skips in.
Well, look, she injects us. What she does is injects pace into the line.
Oh, juggled there by Dodd.
Dodd, yeah.
As well to drag it back in.
Yeah, she did good wrestle though over the top there. Is it Cunningham over the top?
Yeah, real physical challenge there. Naomi Williams also involved in the stop too. Down the left, it's moved by Castleford, juggled by Roach, who picks it up at the second time of asking. Skips back, beats 1, beats 2, still going inside the 20. Brilliant piece of work there from Georgia Roach. Peach picks up out of dummy half, promotes it left. Rhiannon Marshall keeps it moving, Shona Hoyle keeps it moving. Pass was a little bit high for Gentles, forces her to come back on the inside. She's off on a run though, gets past Stott, goes again, takes on Stott again, gets rid of her a second time. And eventually rolled over on her back 2 metres out from that try line. A points beckoning here for Castleford. Garner sends it right.
Good ball, good tackle. Great tackle there from Leah Burke. Had to be made.
Garner picks up out a dummy half, finds some support there. Grace Field heads try line bound, but he's held up. It's a good constructive set that though. I like that.
Well, it's just what they're doing, Dave, is they're just building pressure at Castleford now. They're taking the juice a little bit out of Saints. They're getting into their sets. They're turning the ball over now on their terms. And this is what playoff rugby is about. So if they're building in for next week, they can learn some lessons from what they've done the last few sets.
Entertaining fair for the crowd. 10 points to 4 in favour of Castleford. St Helens have it, but they're just 5 metres away from their own line. They'll make a few metres now through Leah Burke. Gets it about 15 out from her own line now. Wrestles with Garner. Eventually plays it. Ball comes in field. It's Naomi Williams. Now Jones. Good move. Great shot going in from Shona Hoyle. Didn't miss.
Well, that's the second big shot she's put on today.
Ball back for the clearing kick from Gaskin. It's a long one.
It's a great kick from Gaskin. Goes into touch. But still, Cass will be happy with this. Let's have a look at this tackle again from Hoyle. She just times it perfectly there on Zoe Harris. Wow. Great shot. Making a presence known. But again, that was a good D set from Castleford, Dave. Again, they're forcing Saints to kick inside their own 30, and you can see now the field position they've earned now off the back of that. The scrum will go down 42 metres off from their own try line, so straight away they're going to be in a good attacking field position now, Dave.
Certainly will, and it'll help with runs like this from Tara Stanley. Gets the secondary leg movement going as well to halfway. Peach pointing up at the defence. Roach trying to organise something down the left. It's brought right though. Shona Hoyle with the big drive. Peach will pick up on the 40-metre line. They'll double up their efforts with Field. Spins and twists. Home fans felt it was a forward pass. I'm not too sure of it myself. Picked up out of dummy half now. Rhiannon Marshall. Dragging defenders in from everywhere. Now it's all across to the left-hand side. Ooh, bit of a wide ball. Went in front of Dodd. And Dodd has put it down. Disappointing end to that set. But again, you could see what they were doing. They were trying to build play down that left-hand side.
Yeah, they were. Just trying to move the point of attack here from right to left. And ball goes from Garner on a Dodd. It's just the quality of pass there from Roach, sorry, wasn't good enough.
She's apologising to her front row.
Yeah, just she knows herself. It wasn't a good execution of pass.
Here's Naomi Williams. 9 tries for her this season.
Just gets a nose through there. Quick play the ball.
This is a quick play the ball. Here's Cunningham. Passes left. Paige Travis did some real telling carries in the first half. Scored the try as well for St Helens. Plays it to Jones, who spins it into the middle. Rotherham, eager and keen to make amends. Pushing forward towards halfway. Jones winds it up for Gladman again to on rush and charge forward, still going.
She's been impressive today, is Gladman.
Still keeping her efforts up as well, isn't she?
Yeah, she's worked hard for the team today.
Harris, inspiring play down the right-hand side.
Good
Cunningham
tackle.
fed it out, and that was a great hit there on Katie May Williams. 40 metres away from the try line. Saints fans calling for a penalty. It's not forthcoming. Here's Harris. Got rushed into the kick. Not a bad one overall.
That's a good kick.
Oh, it's going to bounce off the leg.
There.
Oh, it wouldn't sit up for Burke.
Oh,
I thought it was going to sit up
she
for
had
her
a
there.
great opportunity there. She had timed it perfectly. She could have got the ball and could have scored this corner. It was a great kick. And the great complemented by a great kick chase as well, Dave. And if Burke just timed this, it just sort of ran away from her, didn't it? It just ran away from her.
If she could have her time again.
It's a try gone begging there for Saints, but that's the worry that Cass have, because they haven't been able to convert that field position into points. They still have that vulnerability there. Does that make sense? So, albeit you say Cass have enjoyed the better part of the game in terms of where they've played the game, but the reality is the scoreboard only shows 10-4.
Whoa,
Cunningham piling in there. Yeah, great shot. And that's the reality is the Saints are still in this game, albeit they've not had much field position or possession in the right end of the field.
They've been pretty tenacious, haven't they?
They've hung in there. They've hung in there. But like you said, Cass have made, both teams, as we know, have made too many errors. But that's a good defensive set from Saints. They're forcing Cass now to kick long. That's a great kick.
Huge kick from Roach.
Yeah, brilliant kick. Rotherham having to field it near the side of 10 as Gentle's chasing hard.
Oh, she does well to get away from Gentle.
She does.
Now Avenal at dummy half. She'll pick up. Tries to skirt away from the defender. She wasn't giving that one up though, was Roach. Gaskin promoting the ball further to Leah Burke. Gets through one challenge, gets through another. Good yards there from the winger.
Yeah, she's carried pretty well, hasn't she, Leah Burke, today?
16 minutes of the second half gone, still as we were at half time. There's Gladman. Leaves another trail of destruction in her wake. Down the left it's moved. Gaskin chips forward. It's a good kick.
40-20, I think it might be.
That was certainly the shout that came from the supporters on this
40-20. What a kick there.
Super kick from Gaskin.
Brilliant. Well, this is the opportunity now for Saints. They've played it quickly, Dave.
They have. It's that. I think it's Jones, that, isn't it? 10 metres out from the try line, right in the middle of the field. Spun to the right-hand side now. Here's Cunningham. Cunningham for the line, and Cunningham has got there. Brilliant work from Cunningham. Individual try, but all came off the back of that 40-20.
Oh, it did indeed. It was at 40-20 from Gaskin. Absolutely brilliant kick from Gaskin. And that's what happens, Dave. You know, that's what Castleford, you know, albeit they've had the field position and possession in the right areas, they failed to turn pressure into points. And that's what they do. And Saints, credit the Saints, they've just been, you know, they've not been at their best. We know that. You know, they've made far too many errors themselves, but they've had a little bit more calmness about them in this second half. They're starting to get behind a kicking game now and getting to the end of their sets, which they weren't doing so well in the first half. And obviously the the pylon prevents the viewers from seeing how Jodie beat her opposite numbers there, but this angle might show us a little bit better. But hey, come off at 40-20, quick tap. They move the ball straight towards the centre of the field. And then it's obviously Gaskin that feeds Cunningham. And it's just a step off her right there. She beats the tackle of Dodd, I think it is.
Was she just waiting to see if someone committed and then go the other way?
Yeah, well, look, I think she was possibly looking to lay a line there to set up a point to attack from, but she just sees that Dodd's just lost her hips there, and that allows her to step off the right and get in between defenders. And I said it's a good individual try from Jodie Cunningham.
12th try of the season for Cunningham. Can Gaskin convert? Oh, no, she can't. Head in her hands there for a second.
Oh, wow.
Well, I would have expected her with
That's a disappointing miss, and she knows it too, you can see.
Well, I wasn't expecting that, I've got to be honest.
She probably rushed it, to be fair. She didn't need to. But that's a disappointing miss. You expect her to, a kicker of her calibre to score that.
Well, 68 goals so far for St Helens. Maybe rush that last effort. And Saints still trail by 2.
Well,
they'll fancy the chances, though, with what they've been doing over the last 10 minutes. Saints,
like I said, the longer the game goes on, you know, the more confidence they'll gain, you know, and belief. And like you said, you know, Castleford, to be fair, you know, they've been, you know, they've showed some good parts to their game, Cass, you know, but they've just clearly just not been able to convert the field position into points now. As
Zoe Harris
Zoe
picks
Harris, yeah, it's a little bit more endeavour in the way she carried that one.
Having all at dummy half. She looked to go direct as well. She's gone down with the blind side. Tackled by Dodd and Gentles. Roach also involved in that stop. Harris looking to inspire. Passes in field. Here's Pit Birchall. Good carry. Still going Birchall. And still going. Real bit of tenacity in that run. Jones sends it into the middle. Another strong carry, this time coming in from Sarah Lovejoy.
Good tackle there from Peach.
Just got over the top there, didn't she, Peach? Now Gaskin looking to make a man. Right in the defence. Down the ground she goes. Looking around for support. Is somebody going to get there? Well, Tara Stanley does. Brings her to ground. 20 metres away from the try line. Numbers on the right-hand side. They're sending the ball down that way. Here's Cunningham. Feeds it out wide. Here's Katie Williams.
And Williams. She is. Wow.
Great try.
Well, I said they'll get their say in this game, St Helens. It's come with 20 minutes before full time. And if Cass didn't take those chances when they had them, they could rue those missed opportunities. And boy, are they ruined those missed opportunities, because Saints have had their say. Fantastic line break initially from Gaskin. Plays the ball about 30 metres out from the line. Ball gets moved there from Harris to Cunningham. Cunningham, lovely draw and pass to Williams. And Williams, she sees that Dodd, I think, sorry.
There was someone there in the line, didn't they? Just
Hoyle, sorry, Hoyle, wasn't it? That was going past. You just said here, Cunningham to Williams, and I think Shona Hoyle just going past there. She throws the dummy and she finishes it brilliantly. What a fantastically well finished try from Williams.
It was really well finished, that one, wasn't
it? Off the back
She's got loads of work to do.
Oh, done a brilliant effort. Brilliant effort.
5th try of the season for Katie May Williams. That is put St Helens in front by 12 points to 10 into the last 20 minutes. Gaskin taking her time. Knows what happened last time. Sets herself. It's actually 3 tries to 2 now in favour of the St Helens side as well. Gaskin steps up, right-footed. Oh, it's in the post!
The post!
And pounced out. Oh, well, she should get 3 points for that.
Oh, she's like... Well...
I bet she can't do that again. She couldn't do that again if she tried, I don't think.
That's the way it is. That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes.
But Saints are the front, 12
well,
points
I
to
said
10.
that Saints will get their say at some point in this game, and the longer they stay in the game, they're going to get a say and a chance. And like I said, you know, Castleford have had plenty of opportunity attacking the Saints line, but they've just kept coming up with too many errors, and they've just not been able to execute well enough to put points on the board or build pressure. And yeah, you could argue Saints first half, well, they couldn't hold the ball coming at their own back end, could they? But they showed some good scramble at times to force Cass into some mistakes and defend when they needed to do. And fortunately, this second half for them, they've now managed to get a little bit more into the game. They're a bit more controlled in what they're doing, not making as many errors, and they've had the opportunities and they've taken them.
Let's see if St Helens can take any more. Here's Williams running forward from that restart. 20 metres from her own line. She'll play this to Burke. Burke picks up. Skuts around the middle. Wins a penalty for the side.
Wow.
Sammy Watts was just tempted into doing a high tackle there.
Yeah, you can just see now momentum now starting to go and shift to St Helens. This is a real important period now for Castleford, because Saints have got a great opportunity now to kick long downfield here now, build some pressure on this Cass line, and all of a sudden, you know, they could crack again, Cass, and Saints further extend the lead.
It was a similar sort of game when these two sides met back in round 4, to be honest.
Okay.
Andrew. And then, well, it was Castleford who ended up getting the better of the last 20 minutes there. We're into the last 20 minutes now. St Helens looking to make amends. They'll be looking to get themselves forward now.
Great carry, Naomi Williams!
Super run from
Great line break
Williams.
from Williams. Oh, fantastic effort.
Tara Stanley lined her up. They're inside the 20-metre line. Picked up by Jones, who spins it right. Gaskin turns it back to Gladman. Deserves a try for efforts, does Lizzie Gladman.
Yeah, she's been great today, Gladman.
12 metres out from the line. Jones opens it out to Gaskin. Through hands. Back on the inside running there is Sarah Lovejoy.
That's a penalty.
Wins that penalty from Marshall. Straight away.
I'd tap and play here. I'd roll.
Well, that was straight away what Sarah Lovejoy was wanting to do as well.
They're going for the 2. They've got momentum with them. I don't think the 2 is the right call, because I think Cass has got another try in them for me. I think there's still enough time on the clock. I would have tapped and gone there. Because let's be honest, they haven't been down this end too often, have they, Saints, in this game? And generally, when they've been down here, they've scored points.
They've been good when they've got in the area.
Absolutely. They've had their opportunities in good ball have been few and far between, Dave, today. And like I said, every time they've been down there, they've scored points. So for me, I would have just tapped and rolled on there and kept challenging that Cass line, because you've got to get a feel for the game too. Like, you know, you've got to feel momentum's with Saints now. You've got to roll with that. Because I think Cass are going to get another say at some point at the back end of this game, and I think they're good enough to score another try. But anyway, I'm not sure 4 points is going to be enough. Does that make sense?
It does make complete sense, to be honest. As Gaskin adds on those extras, I think she'll be thankful that she's been able to find a kicking range with that one. So St Helens 14, Castleford 10. But I agree with Andrew, it's something of an easy lead, that.
I think they've let. I think like if I was a Cass player now,
is that also paying too much respect?
If I was a Cass coach now, I'd be going, oh, thank God they took the 2.
Yeah.
I'd be thinking, thank goodness they've took the 2 there.
Is that a respect thing? Have they paid
No,
too much respect?
I think so. I think they should have backed themselves there. And especially in a game like today too, and let's be honest, the game's not going to have an outcome on the league, because it hasn't got that sort of level of meaning to it. You know, it's all about building into next week. And I just would have backed. I would have backed momentum there. Momentum's with the team. Back it and try and score again. Because I think if Saints had scored again there and convert, it goes 18-10. That's a bit of a. I think that could have broken Cass, broken their spirits. Whereas now they still know they're still in the game.
Leah Butt was looking to break them down straight down the middle from the restart. Tara Jones out of dummy half. Rebecca Rotherham with the next carry. You do get the feeling they're starting to move them around the field a lot better now, aren't they?
Well, they're just, from what I've seen with Saints now, they're not forcing them silly passes that they were doing in the first. That's a great offload there from Gladman.
Jones.
They're just they're playing nice and simple, direct. They're running hard. You can see they're running with more intent and purpose. Not like this, straight, hard.
Sarah
Lovejoy there, just nice and direct, and they've really adapted their game second half, Saints.
Tell you what, I'd be looking at maybe turning little plays back on Marshall, because she's missed the last 2 tackles that she's tried to effect in the middle of that field. Saints though, spinning the ball down the right hand side.
Nice football. But again, did you see the play was nice and early, just moving the ball early as opposed to at the line.
Just shows what you can do with a bit of early play, doesn't it? As the kick comes in from Harris. Oh, it's a good kick again. Bounces up really in favour.
Good tackle there from Lee Burke.
Dived in off a wing to stop that play. Here's Townend. 8 tries for her this season. Plays that ball quickly. Is she knocked on? Is it a penalty? Oh, it's a penalty against her.
Incorrect play the ball.
Well, in a haste to play it, she's got it way too quickly.
That's this next one here. So Towner gets out of dummy half. She goes down and up to play it quickly.
Oh, she's never stood up, has she?
She hasn't played with her foot. She's just rolled it between her legs. So she's got up. She's done everything else right, but she just hasn't got a foot on the ball. So it's the right call from the referee. She's just rolled it through her legs. You can't do that.
More attacking play for St Helens here, and more for the Castleford defence to contend with. The rolling forward here are Saints. There's Gladman. Picking up the metres. 15 out from the try line. Jones scheming. Passes to her right. Lovejoy, another big carry. Rolled over on her back.
Good wrestle there from Peach. Field underneath.
Jones again. Oh, Dummies! It's
Jones.
open up for her!
She's over!
Great score there. Tara Jones, 10th of the season for St Helens. And could it come at a more important time of this game?
Wow, fantastic try from Zara Jones. Brilliant work from her. She just great deception. You see Lovejoy gets up. It's a fairly slow play the ball. I thought, you know, Peach and Field did a great job there. Their in-tackle management was good. And Jones it's just Peach shows it goes, and it's the other marker, Field. She just didn't move. She clocked off, and she knows it. She's punching the ground. She knows it. She didn't move. She clocked off.
To be fair, she was slow getting up as well, wasn't she?
Yeah, but the markers are set here.
Spotting it,
Peach goes, and obviously Jones just sees that Peach has probably stepped a little bit too far on her outside shoulder, and obviously Grace Field, she just didn't move at all. She stopped, and obviously she couldn't recover in time to make the tackle. So, you know, that's just some of the basics there, Dave. Basic marker play. Peach takes a step, which we wanted to do. She steps sideways, but probably steps a bit too far. So that just opened up the opportunity on her inside shoulder. And then Grace Field just stood there, didn't move at all, was unable then to react and tie in and stop the play. So great individual try there from Zara Jones.
And it was too much. Jones. It was too much as well for Rhiannon Marshall to deal with as well. She tried to shut the gate, but it was already wide open, wasn't it?
Ah, brilliant. Brilliant. But that's a good little hooker's try from Tara. Well done.
Thought you might have enjoyed that.
I did enjoy that one. It was a lovely one.
Kick to come here from Faye Gaskin. She's found a range now. Flags are raised. 20 points to 10 in favour of St Helens. It's all changed. And look at the smiles.
Yeah, it's amazing. The game is just as I sort of was calling it at the start. I did say that in that first half, Cass just kept bombing chance after chance. And I just said, I think they don't want to rue those missed opportunities, because I said, I'll tell you, the Saints will get a say at some point in this game, and they've certainly had that say now. And they've capitalised on that field position of Saints, haven't they?
You can certainly.
And that's the difference.
That we're watching two of the best sides in the comp, can't you, though? Because it's been really good fair as Castleford contest it, almost come up with it. In the end, though, it's Pip Birchall who collects it for St Helens, just outside her own 20-metre line. Cunningham passes to her left-hand side. I think that's Dawn Taylor all wrapped up. Finds a front, plays it to Cunningham. Sets off on a rangy run forward. Good run, big carry. Taking on field. There's a couple of players really struggling for breath in this Castleford side now. Oof.
Stern defence there from Grace Field on Tara Jones.
Again, though, you can see her tiring. Gaskin down the left-hand side, juggles with it, gets away from the defence, goes back to the middle, looks for support, there's none there. She'll have to take that carry herself.
Well, she's grown into the game, hasn't she?
Poor referee just allowing her to play that ball. Harris, last tackle.
Yeah, smart play.
Game management.
Yeah, game management, it is indeed. Smart play.
See, in the olden days, we just said that's a grubber kick. A grubber kick into touch. But now it's game management. When did it change into game management?
Well, it becomes game management when you're 20 points to 10 up with 7.5 minutes to go on the clock, and you're finding the line mate, walking to the scrum and just getting your line set. It's called control, isn't it? Game management. Well done. But Saints no good, and I think Gaskin's really grown, hasn't she, in this second half? She's grown into the game. I thought first half she wasn't where she needed to be. She's come up with a few unforced errors and wasn't really directing the work for her team, which she wasn't getting them around. But second half, I think she's really took controls in the halves the second half and grown into this game and really put a stamp on it, to be honest.
Castleford moving this ball about, trying to find a gap in the defence. Here's Stanley. Great step again. Oh, she's got good footwork.
Good tackle there from
Paige Travis. Now chasing back.
Yeah.
Had to turn and catch her.
Oh, she's done it. Oh, Paige Travis is in all sorts here.
Oh, heck.
Oh, hang on.
She's really gone over there, hasn't she?
I don't know what she's done there.
Peach opens it up left. Here's Renoff. Taking on Lovejoy, who gets the better of her in that encounter. Peach again prompting at dummy half. Long pass left. Roach puts it further wide. It's spilled by Rhiannon Marshall, who has a second go at it. Play on is the call as Katie May Williams gets on it.
Last tackle, and they get frustrated, Castleford, aren't they? And Marshall there just slamming the ball down, and because they're so used to getting their own way, they've not. It's probably unfamiliar territory for them, isn't it? They've not been in a real probably arm wrestle or battle for a long time, so.
Well, we saw that list of results that they had earlier on, didn't we? And they've been really dominant over the last 6 weeks. Scored 296 points in the last 6 games.
Yeah, but it might sound daft, but it's probably a blessing in disguise for Castleford. They probably need this, a bit of a reality check, because sometimes, and it's hard when you're dominating most weeks and you're in control most weeks.
An error from Lizzie Gladman.
Thought it was maybe strip that one, but
pops up.
Yeah, you could sort of get a little bit. It's just natural. You get a little bit ahead of yourself. You get a bit giddy, and and probably think that you maybe don't have to work as hard as you need to.
Is this where you hear people saying about you falling in love with yourself?
Yes, that's good analogy. Yeah, good comparison there. Yeah, just get ahead of yourself a little bit. You probably just think that your mentality just doesn't seem to be right going into games. I'm not saying that they aren't preparing as well in terms of physically, but just mentally probably not going in the right frame of mind.
So it becomes an expectation to do things rather than thinking you've got to work for it.
You start to get that think, well, yeah, we'll be right. We smash teams most week. We'll be fine. We'll be right. And or someone like Tara Stanley will pull us out the bag, or Georgia she'll make something happen. And they start to you just kind of go down that route. But so I think in some respects, probably this game is what Castleford needed going into the playoffs next week.
Certainly getting a wake-up call.
Bit of a reality check. A bit of a, do you know what? Hey, listen, you've got to be at your best if you want to win this competition. And you've done ever so well, been the most consistent team in the league. You've won the comp, which is great. But if you seriously want to be crowned champions and you want to win that big trophy, then you need to be at your best in the semi-final and the final. So you can't turn up and not be at your best, and they've not been at their best today. You know what I mean? That's clear. And neither are Saints. I don't think Saints have been at their best either. Certainly I don't think they were in the first. I think second half they've massively turned the corner. Second half.
That's been a huge improvement from them. Second half, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we're about 5 minutes away from full time. Who's impressed you most this afternoon?
There's only one name that's impressed me most today. I've been saying her name all day, and that's Lizzie Gladman, who's come off the bench. She has been outstanding, I think, for St Helens today. She's got through a mountain of work defensively. She's put her hand up to carry most sets 2-3 times on occasions. And to be fair, she was probably in the first half the only player for Saints that was going direct in those conditions. She was just going forward. Here she is again.
There she is.
She's shrugging people off. She's just causing all sorts of problems.
A colossus.
She's been a real handful and she's kept going. I've been impressed with her fitness because, for a bigger girl, she's got through a lot of work, hasn't she? A lot of work, and she's kept going and going and going. I think she's been outstanding today as Lizzie Gladman. I think she's had a real value off the bench.
Ball being played on.
So she's my woman of the match.
That has been knocked on by Castleford, however. It's going to be head and feet this to St Helens, and I'm in full agreement with you there. I think that she has been excellent when it was going really tough for St Helens. They weren't able to string any sort of completion together.
Well, that's what I mean. I look at the first half, and she was the only one that was going straight and hard down the middle third. She was showing and going. She was getting her nose through. She was making good meters, had good leg drive after contact. She was proving a real handful. I think she's proved a real handful today for the Castleford side. And again, second half, she's been on, played really long minutes second half here. And she's continually just causing that Castleford defensive line problem. So, good carry there.
Yeah,
jeez.
She's only 17 as well as Darcy stops.
She's just
massive run.
Run over the top of Tara Stanley there.
Lovejoy calls for it and gets it. I'm happy to see these forwards in the middle getting some credit that they deserve, because you can't win if your forward pack isn't taking you forward, can you? Ball on the right hand side. Here's Cunningham again, trying to cut forward. She'll play this ball to Jones. Now Gaskin, back to Gladman. Just upended on this occasion. Yeah. Within sight of the line again, though, at St Helens. Here's Naomi Williams, gets between defenders, still going Williams.
She's been a bit of a thorn in the side, hasn't she, since come off the bench as well. She's had some strike on that left edge.
Decent dig, kick goes into touch. Game management.
It is indeed. See, for me, I'm almost in the sort of, when you're sort of that far out, you're 10 metres out. I think when you're sort of 30 out drilling the touch, I think I can see what Tara Jones is doing there. She's just thinking, yeah, putting the touch, same again. But I think, you know, when you're sort of 10 metres out, I'd be inclined to just have a crack, have a run, finish in a corner. You know, if you score, you score. If you get tackled there, you're a couple of metres off the line in a corner. You can squeeze your defensive line up and really bash the opposition.
Especially as we've seen Leah Burke go close a couple of times.
Yeah, I just kind of just have a crack there, you know what I mean? Rather than just drill the touch, you know. But anyway, look, I know why she's doing it. It's just doing it to get a line set because it's game management.
St Helens up by 10 with just over a minute remaining. Hope you've enjoyed this fair as much as we've enjoyed bringing it you this afternoon, as Townend gets it all wrong. It's picked up by Tara Stanley, who's perhaps been the best of Castleford players.
she's.
I know she's come up with a couple
of errors,
herself,
but she's been through. Her and Casey Gentles have been the most likely of the two to sort of break the line, and you know. And I think when you look at them, you know, Castle got some players here throughout the team that look dangerous with the ball in hand. You know, but I just think that for whatever reason today they've just had a bit of their timing's been a bit off. Rotherham's let it bounce.
It's been spilled as well by Townend.
And that's the sort of. That's been the day for Cass, isn't it? You know, like things like that.
Penalty goes Castleford's way.
What's he saying there? Escorting, is it? Off the ball? Have a look at the replay here. Was somebody taken out on the kick chase there? Just trying to see.
Doesn't look like anything there in particular.
I can't see anything. I don't know what's...
Is it something that's happened off camera that we've not seen?
Was it maybe was it late charge on the kicker?
Possibly.
Potentially. It might have been we may have just missed that there.
Tap taken. Here's Renoff. 5 metres away from the try line. We're into the hands of our referee as far as time added on is concerned. Is there one more try left in this game for Castleford? Down the left it's taken. Roach, ambitious pass. All the way out to Owen. Slips the ball out to Gentles. Look at that defence. It's superb from St Helens. Really wrestled down by the touchline.
It's a hungry St Helens team defending their goal line there.
Infield it comes to Roach. Little step.
There's nowhere to go for Roach.
Oh, someone's gone down in the backfield there. I think it might be Tara Jones. She really went down in a huddle there.
Ankle, I think it is. Oh, that'd be a bit of a blow for Saints, losing her. It's the only problem with this.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about this type of stuff on this type of surface, actually.
Yep. She went, didn't she? It went before she even made the tackle. You see her jump. So she's obviously rolled it, or let's hope it's not too serious.
Well, she's a key player for St Helens, isn't she?
That's what I mean. It's going to be a big blow for Saints if they lose her now going into the semi-finals. That's the only risk with it, isn't it? That you got a game like this today, almost like there's it's an important game. It's a league fixture, but at the end of the day, there's
bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, you kind of don't want to be losing your key members, do you? I see if it was me now, Coach Derek, just pull it off. I would look after him, mate. You need it for the semi next week. You've got the game in the bag now, mate. There's only a couple of minutes to go. Take it off.
Castleford are going to play this ball 10 metres away from the try line.
She might be playing on that. Is Tara?
Bravery from Tara Jones. Here's Rihanna Marshall, kicking wide. Oh, it'll bounce, it'll bobble.
And it's going to
try. There's a player over.
Yep.
Maisie Lum scoring in that corner. Good score from Maisie Lum.
Well, it's great vision, wasn't it? Great vision there from Castleford, and excellent kick into space. And Maisie Lum gets over.
13th try of the season for Maisie Lum as well.
Yeah, we'll just have a look here now. Ball goes there to Hoyle and out the back to Marshall. And Marshall, great vision from the loose forward. She's got a very good skill set. And she saw that Burke was up and in. There was plenty of space on the outside to exploit. So it was great vision there from Marshall. Well executed kick. Obviously Lum goes over in the corner.
I love Eastwood's reaction just to her left-hand side. She knew as soon as that bounced up it was going to be a try for them.
Absolutely.
Started celebrating. I think this could be the last kick of the game from the reaction amongst those Castleford players.
Yeah, consolation it was at the end there.
Tara Stanley taking her time. Will she add her second goal of this game to take her to 71 goals for the season? Strikes it, doesn't quite come around enough, and referee Tolver Arnold blows his whistle, and look at them celebrations for St Helens.
Yeah, it means a lot to those girls, doesn't it? They're pleased with that result. It's a great result for them, and do you know what, from a Saints point of view, you know, that's a real morale boosting and confidence boosting win. You know, they've had to come from behind, you know, on a couple of occasions, and they found a way to win, and they know themselves as a group they weren't at their best today. They'll know that first half was a write-off. You know, they were nowhere near. Second half, I thought they grew into the game. They simplified things. They got back to just running hard, playing nice and direct. They started to get to the end of their set, so they were getting off the back of a kicking game from Gaskin and Zoe Harris, and they just, I thought, just grew into the game. And you know, strong performance from Lizzie Gladman amongst others. You know, Stott was impressive. Pip Birchall did a good job there as well. Like, you know, the forwards I thought did a really good job in that second half. Castleford, I thought again that, you know, they had plenty of opportunity, plenty of field position, and they'll be, like I said, they'll be disappointed that they didn't execute as well as they know they can and take those chances. They failed to do that. That's ultimately what it came down to. They couldn't turn that field position and possession into points. They failed to do that. And Saints, when they got their opportunities, as few and far between they capitalised on that field position and possession and posted points. And but both teams have plenty to work on.
Let's have a look at the tries. We saw
this was
run in the first half from Rhiannon Marshall. Drags about 4 or 5 defenders in there, managed to slip the ball out. This was the marked ball, wasn't it, from Roach out to Shona Hoyle.
Yeah, that was a good opening try there. Last tackle play it was as well, Dave. It was last tackle play. Marshall, it was a power play, tried to power over, attracts 4 or 5 defenders, gets a great offload away, and then obviously Roach feeds it onto Hoyle, and that was the opening score of the game. And like I said, Cass at this point had blown plenty of chances for scoring down the other end, and then Saints finally get a bit of field position, this nice short side attacking play, and it's just early ball from Jones to Gaskin, early ball to Paige Travis, and she showed great strength to spin out and score. And then Cass responded, didn't they, just before half time through Tara Stanley, and it was the play previous where they moved the point of attack from left to right, and the Saints defenders just couldn't get around the corner and number up properly, and it was a great individual try. So they had the lead at half time, but then second half, Saints finally get a bit of field position, and this was in the final quarter, and Jodie Cunningham,
great work from Cunningham.
Great work, right foot step. Yep, she sees it. Donna just got her hips out there. She found the space. And then again, this was off the Gaskin line break. They then just moved it down the right. Cass was still scrambling, couldn't get the numbers there. And Williams, great presence of mind to show and go. And that's some finish from Williams.
Quality finish, Katie May Williams. There.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, it was a great break from Gaskin, and they just moved the point early of attack to Cunningham. She feeds it on nicely there to Williams, and she just finishes it brilliantly in that right-hand corner. And then the final try, Dave, to Tara Jones. You know, Mark, as I said here, Peach takes the step. She just goes a little bit past too far, and Fielder just didn't react. And look at a punch in the ground. She was not happy. She knew she probably let her side down there at Marker. Wasn't working hard enough. And Peach, you know, she takes a step. Jones dummies, sees the opportunity, exploits it, scores a great try there to seal the victory.